Bolt Action CP for another battle report. Today we're playing Chain of Command. This is a new game we picked up. Another World War II platoon level game that we have all the figures for already, which is nice. So we played about 6 games so far of this, so we're confident that we know the basics, basic rules, and have them down pretty handily. So as the game goes, we're going to start off explaining a lot of the rules in more detail at the beginning. Patrol phase, placing jump off points, and then just how the phase sequence works. We'll go through a few phases in detail for each of us. Talk about all the leaders, junior leaders, senior leaders, teams, support options, and what they can all do based on your command die roll. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll go over the forces first, and then we'll roll up our force morale, we'll roll up our support, and then I think we may even add a tank each just for the heck of it, just for fun, to get some vehicle action going on. So we'll go ahead and look at the forces. Here we have the German force for this game. This is your standard German rifle platoon. It's got a senior leader here, represented with the red base. He has a MP40. And we have a Panzerschreck team and 3 rifle squads. And they each have a sergeant with MP40, MG42 team, a 2 crew, 1 rifleman, and a 6-man rifle team. So we'll see what the Americans have. This is the American force for this game. So it's very similar to the German setup, except they do have 1 additional senior leader, which comes in very handy because they don't have to spend any support points on an additional leader. So you have your 2 leaders. You have a platoon leader with a carbine, platoon sergeant with a SMG, and you have a bazooka team, 3 identical rifle squads with a sergeant, well, it's actually a corporal, it says in the book, with a submachine gun. You got a 3-man BAR team, BAR, additional crewman and a rifleman, and then a 8-man rifle team, squad, or team, yes. So in this game, this squad is made up of 2 teams. So this is a team-based game. Most everything is considered a team, except for a squad, which is 2 teams that can operate together or independently. And we'll go over that as we get through the game. But so that's it for the basic forces. Now what we're going to do, we will roll for our force morale. Well, first we got to roll to see who's who, and then we'll roll for force morale, we'll roll for mission, and then we'll roll for the support options that we're going to be bringing. So the scenario we're going to be playing today is called the probe. We're going to be playing long table edges, and the objective is the attacker will have to get a team to the enemy baseline. If the attacker can do that, they win. Also, with every game you can also win by forcing your enemy's force morale to 0. So the first thing we'll do is roll for force morale. So we both roll a d6 to determine our force morale. Ooh, a 6. Okay, what did you get there, Andre? A 3. Alright, so I got a 6. I got a force morale of 11.
Nice.
And you got a 3?
So I'm at 9.
So he has a force morale of 9. So the force morale, we keep track of it with this handy little chart here. So I'm starting at 11, which is very high. But so as you lose during the game, you lose leaders. You start losing teams, and every time you do that, you generally lose morale. The more morale you lose, like if you lose a leader, a senior leader, that's a big hit on your platoon. They don't like that. Their force morale can drop quite a bit. So we've determined force morale, and we've determined mission. So now we need to roll to see who's the attacker. Higher is the attacker. 4s. Ooh, so I'm the attacker. Okay. I hate attacking. It's very hard, man. It's hard. So, but it's just going to take some practice. Okay, so next we move on to the patrol phase. So this is a very important part of the game. This is where we determine where we can deploy our troops. So patrol phase, it's representative of forward scouting parties for each platoon moving up and seeing how far they can get safely before they make contact. And after you do all your patrol phase, then we'll place our jump off points, and that's where we can deploy our troops from. So the way this works is defender deploys 4 patrol markers within 12 inches of his edge. So Andre will place 4 patrol markers within 12 inches of his own table edge and within 12 inches of at least one other friendly patrol marker. So he can actually put his patrol markers 12 inches up already, which is good because he's going to be moving them up quickly, and that's going to really limit the amount of movement I can do. So the way the patrol phase also works is once our 2 patrol markers come within 12 inches of each other, those 2 are locked down. Once one side has all of their patrol markers locked down, the patrol phase ends. Okay, so he's placed his 4 starting patrol markers there. The attacker enters a single entry point on his choosing on his own table edge, indicated by the red arrow. That's okay. Stacking all 3 or 4 patrol markers on top of each other. So I've placed all 4.
Trouble moving.
Possibly want to redo it. So let's see what I get here. 4. So if I get 3 or 4, then I can take on a roll of 3 or 4, 3 moves are taken. So I can do 3 free moves. I just move 3 of my patrol markers up immediately, and I have the 4th one back here. So taking 4 at this point is going to be a hindrance to me, because instead of being able to just start spreading out, I got to bring this one up, which is going to give him an extra turn.
But because I screwed up.
So that's my, hold on a second here. So I actually get to go again because the side with the higher force morale gets to move first. So those were just free moves. So since I have higher force morale, I'm going to just move my 4th one up. There we go. So now what we do is you move, each patrol marker can move up to 12 inches, and you have to keep it within 12 of another friendly patrol marker at all times.
So I've got 2 more moves before I can even...
Yeah.
2, 3. I'm 4 moves away from being able to move this guy, so I totally messed myself up.
Right. Yeah, as we've learned through playing, it's a safer bet to stack all your patrol markers on top of each other and move them all together until you're ready to start spreading out, instead of moving like abreast, marching up the field. So, and when our patrol markers get within 12 of each other, as I said earlier, they are locked down, and once one side is locked down, that's it for the patrol phase. So we'll go ahead and do all our movement, and we'll come back and show where we ended up locked down. Patrol phase is now complete, and these are marked. These are all locked down now, so everything is within 12 of another one. So how it ended up, I have a patrol marker here, here, and I actually have 2 of them there, but they were both locked down by the one who moved into the orchard. Which is good, because if I would have kept moving up, I could have deployed pretty close to the edge already that I need to get to. So that stopped me from there. Okay, so now they're all locked down, what we do, we're going to place our jump off points. And to do that, we use these patrol markers to determine where each jump off point will go. So the way we do that, I will place the first one since I have the initiative. So it's 1 jump off point per patrol phase. And the rules are the jump off points have to be placed in cover or immediately behind cover, and they have to be 6 inches behind the jump off point you're deploying it from. So it's kind of an interesting way that we decide this is, or we determine the area that we can deploy in. So you got your tape measure, Andre?
I do.
What we do is we take a line directly from the closest 2 enemy patrol markers, and the area here, the triangle that it makes where they cross, this is the area we can deploy our jump off point in. And it has to be 6 inches behind and in cover. So this wheat field is cover. So I just have to place it 6 inches behind the patrol marker. So there we have it. Is that 6 inches?
No.
There we go. So that's 6 inches. So my first jump off point has now been placed. And now Andre will place the jump off point. So we will go ahead and place all jump off points, and we'll come back and show you where they all wound up. So here we have the patrol phase and placement of jump off points completed. So Andre's got one here in the orchard. He's got one here on the edge.
Because I couldn't get behind cover.
Right, so if you can't get immediately behind cover or in cover, you just go all the way back to your table edge and put the jump off point there.
I've also got one in the building.
He's got one on the first floor of this building here. And then my 3 jump off points, I have one there behind the building, those boxes. I got one there, and I got one over here in the wheat field. So that'll do it for our jump off points. Next thing we need to do is roll for force support. So the force support, this attacker rolls a d6. Let's see what we get. Come on, give me a high number. Oh, 6. There we go. Okay, so the defender takes support with half of that. So Andre will get 3, and I'll get 6. The reason that is because it's easier to defend than attack. So the attackers need an advantage, so they get more force support. So we'll go ahead and decide what force support we want to take. Here is the force support list. So I rolled a 6, so I could take something from list 6, which has some vehicles, or you can take any combination lower than 6 that equals 6. So you could take a 6, you could take a 4 and a 2, you could take 6 1s, however you want to break it up. So we're going to go ahead and pick out what support we want, and then we'll be back. So we both used the chart, and we picked our support, and I'm bringing the Sherman. That's 6 support points, so that's as many as I had. So that's the only support I'm going to be bringing. And for Andre, he chose to bring 2 entrenchments, which could hold 2 individual teams, or both combined can hold a squad. And he also brought the adjutant, who, for him, so one of the rules is to come onto the board. They come on automatically if you have a senior leader off the board, organizing the men, telling them where to go. If there's no senior leader, the guys are going to mill about. They might be hesitant. They might not know where to go. So they will only come in on a 4+. Since the Germans only have the 1 senior leader, if you don't take another one to leave off the board, then you can take the adjutant for 1 command point or 1 support point, and he'll play the same role as a senior leader. So everyone will come in automatically for the Germans, even if he brings his senior leader on. So that's that. So now we begin the game. And the way that the game is played is you have command dice. So both of us start with 5 command dice. So here they are. What you do is you roll the dice, and this determines what you get to activate during that phase. So another thing is this, it's mainly a game of phases. There are turns, but turns are very random in length.
Few and far between, generally speaking.
They can come and go very quickly, or they could, one of the games that we played was, we played for like 3 hours and we never got out of the first turn. So, and then another game right after that, the first turn came and went before anyone did anything, because Andre rolled 3 6s, like right off the bat. So it's very random. So I'll go ahead and just roll see what's going to happen here for me.
Oh.
Okay. So I got a double phase. All right, so the way the dice work. A 6 by itself is nothing. 2 6s, you get this phase, and you get to do a phase, the next phase. 3 6s would be the same thing. but the turn would end. 4 6s, then you're getting crazy. You get random stuff coming up. So anyway, I got the double 6, so I get the next phase. I also got a 5. A 5 gives you a chain of command point. So I got 1. When you get to 6, you have a full chain of command dice. You can use that to do multiple things, which we'll go over once someone gets one. I also rolled a 3 and a 4. So a 4, I can activate a senior leader. A 3 would be a junior leader. So I could bring in a squad, or I could bring in the tank because he has a junior leader inside the tank. 2 would be a squad would come in. They would have the junior leader with them, but he wouldn't be able to issue any commands. So this game is all about leaders and commands. The senior leaders have 3 command initiatives. The junior leaders have 2. So one senior leader in the middle of 3 squads, he could activate all 3 squads with one roll of a 4. So you don't necessarily have to get a 2 or a 3 to do a squad. A senior leader can do a lot of stuff. He can activate teams. He can activate squads. He can take shock off. So, but we'll get into all that as it happens during the game. The one thing that he can't do though is he can't command the tank. The tank's from a whole different battalion. He doesn't take orders from the platoon sergeant of this infantry platoon. So, what I got to work with is a 4 and a 3. So since I have to get off the table and I have a double phase, I'm going to start bringing some stuff in. So with the 3 and the 4, I brought in my senior leader and the squad. Now since I rolled a 3, or with either one of these guys, I can give commands as I come in. So when you come in, you can't move, but you can fire, and you can give them commands such as go on tactical or go on Overwatch, which I placed both teams on Overwatch with the squad leaders 2 command initiatives. Overwatch is kind of like ambush and bolt action in that any enemy moving or firing within my arc of fire for either team, I can shoot at them. I can't shoot at a team that comes in on a jump off point because that's not considered moving. The only thing I could do is if someone does move, or if someone deploys to a jump off point and shoots at me, I can shoot back. So that's that. That's my whole phase there, but I did roll a 6. So I will now roll another phase. Okay, so that 6 is nothing. Solo 6 is nothing. 3 1s and a 4. So the 1s aren't doing a lot for me. So what I can do is I can add numbers together. So I could add these 3 to make a 3, or I could add 2 of them to make a 2 and keep 1. You can only add things up to 4. You can't add to make a 5 or a 6. And you can't subtract from a dice. So you can take the 4 and say I'm going to make 2 2s. You can only add up, and that's only to 4. So I'll probably I'm probably going to make these into a 3, so I can bring another squad, and then I got a 4 for my senior leader. So I'll go ahead and do that. Now with the 3, the combination of 3 1s, to make the 3 I brought another squad in off of this jump off point. Now with the 4, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order this squad to move tactically. So there's different types of movement. You can move tactically, and all movement is random. It seems weird at first, but it makes sense when you read about why. Because you never know exactly. You can give a guy an order, say you move up there, but you never know what's going to happen to him between when you give him the order and when he gets there. Any number of things can stop him from just moving directly there. So the first way you can move, I can move tactically. So that's a 1d6. You roll 1d6 and you move that far, and when you get to where you're going, or where you get to however far you can move, you seek cover. And that will increase the amount of cover you're in by 1. So if I stay in this wheat field, which is light cover, if I move tactically, I'll be in hard cover. Another way you move is you can roll 2 dice and just move normally. You just move the 2d6, whatever you roll, and you stop there. No tactical, no anything. If you want to move and shoot, you can roll 1d6, just like moving tactically. You can move that far, and you can shoot at half effect. Now the Americans have a special rule, marching fire, where they actually can move at 1d6 and fire at full effect, and they can move 2d6 and fire at half effect. So their M1 Garans and their BARs make it easier for them to move and shoot. So I'm going to just move these guys tactically. 1 inch. So, yeah. So there we go. Who knows what happened? It's muddy. I don't know. They tripped. I don't know.
They saw a gopher.
They saw something. They spooked them. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and move these guys 1 inch, and then it'll be the German phase. Okay, now we roll for the Germans. So 6. That's burned. That's nothing. And
One of the 4s is burned
A
because I've only
4.
got 1 senior leader.
yeah, right.
So I've got a senior leader and 2 junior leaders.
So that's not a bad roll. You can bring in 2 squads and a senior leader. So we'll let him decide where he's going to go, and then we'll be back. All right, so with the 3, Andres brought a squad in there, off that jump-off point. And he's actually going to fire through this gap, because you can see through the trees, into this rifle team here. So all the hits are going to have to go on these guys, since that's who you can see. And I guess if they take, well, somehow you kill all 8 of them, I guess any odd hits would go on the other team. So for the Germans, so the MG42 is a belt-fed machine gun. So he gets 8 shots. They have a special rule, the Germans do, which is machine Gewehr. So he can add another shot by his extra command from his squad leader going into the fire order. So he's directing the fire of the MG42 personally, saying, nail it through those trees there. So his personal attention has added more firepower to the MG42.
So I've got the MG42 and then 5 rifles.
5 riflemen. Okay, so there's 2 ranges. So you got close range and effective range. For all the infantry weapons, the close range is 18. Anything over 18 is considered effective range. So for close range, you need a 4, 5, or 6. Effective range, you need a 5 or 6. So we'll see what he gets. So not very, it's
Pretty average.
decent, I guess. So all those are
5
hits.
hits.
So normally I would be able to distribute them since I'm within 4. So if you have 2 teams any teams within 4 inches of each other, you can distribute all the hits equally through all the teams. If you only have 2 teams and I'm in soft cover, any odd hits, Andre would get to place the odd hit. If I'm in hard cover, I would get to place the odd hit. So since he can only see the rifleman, we're just going to say that he's only shooting at the rifle team. So what happens now is I will take saving throws. Saving throws are very depending on what terrain you're in. So if you're in the open, a 1 or 2 is a save, 3, 4 is a shock, 5, 6 is a kill. I'm in soft cover here, so the way it'll work is a 1, 2, 3 would be saved, nothing would happen. A 4 or 5, I would take a point of shock, and on a 6, I would lose a man. So we're just going to put all of these. Is this one of them?
It's just 5 hits.
Oh, just 5.
I give you a pile of dice.
Okay, I was going to roll all of those. Okay, so all 5 of these. All right, so these are all saves. I'm in soft cover, so nothing happens. A 6 is a dead guy, and a 4 is a point of shock. So I'm going to remove a man and put a point of shock on. So these are the pin counters that we use for bolt action. They work fine for this as well. So in this game, shock is similar to pins. It affects how well you can perform. For example, a point of shock. Every point of shock you have reduces the movement that you can make by 1 pip on the dice. 2 points of shock will reduce 1 of your firepower dice. It will take it out. And when it starts accumulating to the point where you have more shock than you have guys in this team, they become pinned. And if you ever get double the amount of shock as guys in the team, that unit will break. And when that happens, we'll go into that a little bit more. But anyway, so that was Andre's. This is still his phase. So he had a 3, and a 4, and that was one of his 3s. So now we'll go ahead and let him continue on. So with his second 3, he has brought a squad in. There's a jump off point in the building there. And he's deploying in the building, both buildings, considered one building. But as long as you're within 6 of the jump off point, you can deploy. So what he's done, he can do 2 men can fire from each opening. So he's got a machine gun and rifle, and then the rest are all rifles. And he is going to fire onto this BAR team. This is the only one he can see. So he's at long range, and I am in hard cover since I moved tactically.
Wow.
And of all that, he only got 3 hits. So since I'm in hard cover now, since I moved tactically, it's going to take a 5 to shock and a 6 to kill. So I rolled one man was killed. So we'll just take a guy out of the BAR team, and he is dead. And no shock. Kills do not produce shock. But kills do enhance shock that you already have, because the more you lose, the closer you get to being pinned or routing. Or breaking, I should say. So all he has left is his 4. So Andre has elected not to bring a senior leader in yet. So now I will do my phase. And that's not bad. It's a good way to get a lot of stuff on. So like I said, I can add. So I can take these 2 and make a 4. Bring my other senior leader on if I want. And I got all these 3s to bring squads in. Alright, so with one of the 3s, I brought my Sherman in. Normally you bring them on a road, but I don't have a road on my table edge, so I'm just going to bring him in behind this jump off point. And his machine gun on top, I can shoot, I believe, over infantry, since it's higher up. So I'm going to fire onto the squad in the building there. So this is considered a top mounted. So that'll be 10 shots.
Are you shooting the machine gun squad?
Yeah, I'm targeting the machine gun squad. So he's in hard cover, so any odd hits, he can place however he wants. So long range, and I got 3 hits. So hard cover, so 5s are shocks for him, and 6s are kills. And
so 2 on the rifle team, 1 on the machine gun. Ooh.
Okay, so a dead rifleman and a shock on the machine gunner, which is good. So my other 3, I brought a squad in over here. So now I've kind of played my hand, showed my hand here. I brought them in and they went tactical. So they are now considered to be in a higher, 1 level higher of cover. I've also used the 4 when I combine the 2 2s to bring in my platoon leader. And now I will, when he came in, he took the point of shock off of that squad that they had. And he's going to order them to move forward 1d6 and fire. Since they're Americans, they can.
So he's attached, or okay, never mind.
Yeah, and then so they can only move 2. Correction, American rule, I can move 2d6 and fire at half effect. So I got a 7, so that's better. So I'm going to move up to the hedge and do some shooting. Okay, so I've advanced up with 2d6 and I can fire at half effect with the American marching fire. So these are the dice that I've got, but I have to take half out. So I got what, 9. So I have to round down, so I'll be at 4. So I get 4 total dice. Americans are the only ones that can do that. So I am long range to the Germans right there, and they are in the open. So I got 2 hits. So you get to roll your 2 saves in the open. And the machine gun team is who I was targeting. So shock and a kill.
So they both had to go on the machine gun, or I should have rolled those separate, shouldn't I?
Yeah, technically you should have rolled them separate, but you can just kill one machine gun, you can put the shock on whoever you want. So that's it for that shooting, and do I have another 3 left? Because I brought in that squad. I think I do. This squad here. So I'm going to do something with my last 3. I'm going to maybe possibly do something with this squad. So I moved up with 1d6, move and fire, which I can use full effects since I'm Americans. I got a 6, so I moved up to the hedge, and I'm going to fire into the building. So this is what I can fire with, my BAR, and the only guys I can see through hedges are the guys that are right up against it. So the guys back here can't fire. So this is what I wound up with. So long range, needing 5s and 6s. So a whopping 1 hit on the machine gun. I think we just assume we're always shooting at the machine guns at this point. And he rolled a 2, so it's a save. So that's it for my phase. So now we go into the German phase. See what he rolls. Bunch of
Chain of
4s.
command die.
And you got a 5. So the first chain of command point. Actually, I got one earlier, but. And 3 4s.
2 of which are useless to me.
Yep. So it really all he's got to do is a 4 and a 2. Okay, so he's brought his squad in with a 2, and he's put one of his 2 entrenchments, and he's using it for the machine gun team of that squad. The other guys are just standing in the open. Senior leader with the 4s come in and got in the entrenchment and attached himself to the machine gun team. And they're all going to fire at these guys with quite a few shots here. So long range, needing 5s and 6s. Now, let's see what we got here. 4 hits. Okay, that's fine.
You're okay with
I'm
that?
fine with that. Yeah, okay, so I'll put 2 on the BAR team and 2 on the rifle team. So 1 rifle's dead and a shock on the BAR. And one thing we forgot to do earlier is roll for leader hits.
Leader
which
hits.
we always seem to go a few phases
Before we remember
before we
that.
remember that. But there is a chance that if a man is killed, there's a chance that it could be your leader. So the way that works is, however many kills you get, you roll a d6, and if you get that number or less, your leader's hit. So in this case, I only lost a man killed. So on a 1, it will be my squad leader, which it is not. If it was, then you would have to roll to see what happened to him. He could either get killed outright, he could be knocked out, unconscious, where he can't do anything until the next turn, or he can be lightly wounded and he drops one command initiative. Okay, so he still has shooting to do.
So I ordered with my 3rd command these guys to fire.
Okay, so his senior leader has also issued an order to the squad on the other side of the hedge to fire at these guys again, targeting the BAR team. Since we just assume you're always targeting
Hey,
the worst
4
weapon.
again.
4 again, okay. So same deal, 2 on my BAR. Oh man, that's a dead and a shock, and 2 on my rifle is just a shock. So for the 6, see if my squad leader's hit. He's not. So my BAR team loses a man, and they take a point of shock, and my rifle team will take a point of shock as well. So there we go. And I believe that's it
That's
for
it
the
for me.
German phase. And now we go on to the American phase. Oh, I got a 666. And 2 1s. And 2 1s.
Nice.
So 666 means I get the next phase because I got those, but the turn also ends. So when the turn ends, what happens is if there was a barrage going from a mortar, that would end. If we had any smoke, which we don't yet, but I'm sure we will, that will be removed. And any overwatch, any tactical markers, those are removed as well at the end of a turn. And any units that are broken and have not recovered enough will be routed, and they will leave the table. But in this case, there's not any of that really happening here, so it'll just go. It'll pretty much be just me having a double phase. Okay, what I'm going to do, I got the 2 1s, so I'm going to try to bring my bazooka in. I have no senior leaders left, so that on a 4-up, he'll come in. No, but I do have 2 1s. All right, he's coming in. So he'll come in, and I will bring him just in with these guys over here. Okay, and then I get to roll again, because I got the double phase. So hopefully this time I get some 3s and 4s. Okay, I got a 3, a 4, 2 1s, and a 2, which is good. Good mix. Alright, so with the 1 I had to move my bazooka, unfortunately, because he was blocking my tank. So that was a waste. I should have deployed him over there to start with, but anyway. So So one of the 3s I put here. I'm going to have the tank fire into the entrenchment. Over here with the 4, I used one of his 3 commands for my squad leader or platoon leader. Had them move 2d6. They only got a 3, so they barely moved. Other 2, he removed 2 points of shock. The one per team that they had. So I got another 3, and my squad leader is going to order some smoke. So I'm going to have. You want to get the tape measure out, Andre?
Where are you going with
I'm going to order 2 guys to throw a smoke grenade each. So this guy here is just going to try to hit that gap.
So you want to go like that?
Yep. So you declare you're going to do 2d6 or 1d6 to determine how far do you want to go. So obviously if you want to just throw it a short distance, you would go 1. But I'm going to
We're
throw
right
2.
on a 7 in that gap, so
I need a 7 and 8. So that's pretty close. It's in the gap.
it's just as good.
So we just take some
Right here.
of that, and that smoke cloud will now stay there until the turn ends. So that was the first one. The next one I'm going to try to throw it about right there. So another 2d6.
Like that.
Yep. So that's only 3. So that's not a very good throw. Must have hit a branch on the tree. I don't know. Maybe he's got just a little weenie arm. I don't know. So what? Right there?
Yeah.
It did the job though. So now I'm blocking line of sight there. So that was the 3 and the 4, and I got a 2 left. So what I'm going to do is the 2, I'm going to have these guys fire into the building, and the tank's going to fire over here. All right, so the tank.
I didn't know what you were going to do.
The main.
That's why the Piat not, or the Panther Shrek isn't in yet.
So since I didn't move with the tank, I can fire at full effect. So I'm going to fire all my weapons. He's a junior leader, so he's going to order the gunner to fire the main gun, and he gets 6 HE shots. And these are, there's no range, there's no long range on tank guns, so it's always a 4+ to hit. So I got 4 hits on you there.
Yep.
And HE reduces the amount of cover that the target's in by 1. So he's in hard cover in there, but hold on, you can. He's now in soft cover, but you are within 4 inches. So you can put some of the hits on the other guys.
So I can split it 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 on the machine gun.
Yeah.
2 on the other guys.
So really just one
One
dead
dead
machine
machine
gun.
gunner.
See if it's your leader there. And if your senior leader were to die now, that would not be good. You only got 1 to start anyway. Okay, so that not very effective. Now I will fire the pintle mount on top. Just 2 hits. 2 hits on the guys in hard cover.
Big dies the machine gun.
So a shock
on the
point of
machine
shock
gun.
on the machine gun. Alright, and with the last of my command dice, I rolled with the 2, I'm going to fire this squad into the building over there. Long range. So I got 3 hits.
4.
4 hits. No, 3. I need 5s.
Oh, 5s? Okay.
Yeah, long range.
3 hits.
So the target goes to the machine gun, but he's in hard cover, so he gets to decide how they're.
So 2 on the rifles, 1 on the machine guns. Didn't matter.
So all those dice, I didn't really do anything.
You killed a guy.
I got a kill.
You
yeah.
killed a man.
I killed a man.
You just killed a man.
And that's it. So that was my phase. Not as good as I kind of was envisioning when I rolled all those cool, good rolls that I got there. So now it's the
as
German.
we're finding out, at long range in cover, there aren't a lot of casualties, but
Nope.
that changes a lot when you get into short range.
Oh yeah, especially in the assault. Okay, so it's now the German phase.
Crap. I
3
mean,
4s.
darn. So 2 of those are useless to me.
Yeah, having 1 senior leader sucks. But like Andre said, he should have taken another senior leader and 1 entrenchment, but he's not used to playing the Germans. And they're 1 senior
I
leader.
am not. So I can't bring my Panzerfaust in still.
Panzerschreck, yeah.
Panzerschreck.
He needs a 1, yeah. So he'll need a 1 to bring in that Panzerschreck if he wants to take a shot at the tank.
Okay, so with the 3, I can order those guys to fire. And I can't fire my Panzerfaust, right?
No, because the range on it's pretty short.
Oh, I didn't realize.
It does have a maximum range. All
I'm
the
not used to
handheld
that.
AT weapons, the handheld AT weapons have a maximum range.
Okay.
And the Panzerfaust isn't that far.
So this
All
team
right.
here moved up 8 inches. I ordered these guys separately to fire at full effect. So I got 8 shots here on the rifle team back there.
Okay. Ooh, that's a lot of hits. Long range, but still.
Still 5 hits.
5 hits. All right, so you can allocate. I'm assuming you want more hits to go on the BAR.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 on the BAR, 2 on the rifles. So nothing on the BAR. Nothing on the rifles. Perfect.
Okay.
Total save.
Then I got a move and shoot with this machine gun. Same team. 1 hit.
Okay. It's on the BAR. Saved.
Okay, that was wonderful.
Rifles team.
Has nothing to shoot at.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, no, they can't
Yeah.
because they're not up against the hedgerow anymore.
Right.
Over here, I'm going to use my 2 to shoot here.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to target the bazooka team.
All right. Bazooka team is being fired upon. I can still spread the hits out because he was within 4 inches, so it's any team. Doesn't have to be just from your squad.
Really?
Yeah. So I could fire, if you hit him, I can spread him out to both teams that are here. That's the beauty.
In that case, I'll just shoot the BAR team.
Okay.
So the
Okay. So BAR team is the target.
so 5 hits.
5 hits. All right. So 3 on the BAR, 2 on the rifle team. Soft cover. So nothing there. Nothing. Wow, that's all saved.
Woohoo!
I don't know if you're a good shoot or I'm hiding. I'm hiding. Okay, so that's it for the German American phase. Ooh, a double 6. There we go. That always comes in handy. And a 2, 3, 4, which isn't bad. So I'll decide what I'm going to do, and then I'll we'll get on with it. With the 4 for senior leader. So for his 3, I ordered that squad to move 2d6 and fire at half effect due to the American special rule, marching fire. So they've moved up to the hedge. His second command, he ordered them to throw another smoke grenade, which it only landed pretty much on top. It just expanded it by about an inch. And then had them move 2d6, and they made it to about there. So they're in the smoke, they're hidden, and we will start. And with the 3, I just moved my tank up. He moved 4 inches on a 1d6, so we can fire 1 weapon. And the 2, they will fire. So we'll start over here. I got a BAR and 5 rifles. That's 8, so I get 4 shots, and I'm targeting the machine gun team in the open. Actually, they're in soft cover because they're in the orchard. Actually, I don't think we did that the first time, but actually I was firing down this way, so I'm assuming that wasn't the order. Anyway, 1 hit. After all that. 1 hit on the machine gun. And good to go. This squad is going to fire at full effect into the building. So the same deal. I got 3, 4, 5, 8, and then 1 extra rifle. All long range. Not too bad, I guess. Not too great. 5 hits on the squad in the building.
Okay. So I can allocate, right?
Yep.
So 3 on the rifle, 2 on the machine gun.
All saved. Okay, well, we're in a lot of ineffective shooting going on here. Let's see what the 75mm on that Sherman can do. HE. Okay, so 4 hits with HE. And
So I could allocate
reduce
back
cover.
to these guys.
Technically you could, but they're on the other side of a hedge.
You're right on that.
No, I'm right on it.
You are?
Yeah. I know for a fact that any team within 4 inches. But I don't know, the hedge is there too, which that could probably block some shrapnel. So we'll just say it all has to go on that.
So I
team.
get heavy cover back.
We're not going to get that far into it. Just put it all on those dudes.
Okay, so 4.
Yeah, 4 hits and reducing the cover by 1. So just a shock. Man, we are not getting neither one of us is shooting very well. Or I should say we're saving very good, I should say. Okay, and that's it. That's all my shooting. And that's
Your turn.
Oh, that's right. Double phase. Yes. Thanks for reminding me there. I almost forgot about that. So I'll just walk over here and re-roll another double phase. Oh, man. See, if I was a good player, I could actually make that worth something. So 2 3s and a 2. With the 2, I move these guys with 1d6 up to the hedge so they can all fire at full effect. This squad moved 1d6 as well, but they didn't get a very good roll, so I just was able to get everyone out of the woods onto the road, mostly behind the smoke. And the other 3 I'm going to fire. I moved the Sherman up 1d6, I got a 6, and I'm going to fire the cannon again at the machine gun team. So that's 5 hits. Hopefully I can do something here. They're in hard cover, well, soft cover with the HE. 2 shock. So one more shock and they'll be pinned. There's 2 guys, but the leader's attached to them, so actually 3 guys. So they have 3 shock now?
Yep.
Okay. So to be pinned, you have to have more shock than men. Which they don't yet. I need 1 more shock to pin them. This squad is going to fire at the guys in the orchard there. So that's the BAR plus 8 rifles and 1 additional rifleman in the BAR team. And we're still long range, I'm assuming. It looks like it. 18 inches long.
No. Well, so 18 to right about there.
So the last 3 guys are long range. Okay. And the squad leader, the SMG he has, can only shoot 12, so he can't shoot. The 3 long range rifles, that's 1. And then the rest of the squad. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. And target is the MG42. So 4 on him and 3 on the other dudes. So just 2 shock and 1 shock. 3 shock, I'll take it. And that's, I believe, all I can do. But I did get another double phase. So this is my chance to really pour it on here. 3 turns in a row. It don't seem to be doing it. Don't get the double phase, but I do get a command dice, which is chain of command dice, which we haven't been getting a whole lot of. So I got a 1, 2 2s, and a 4. 1, 2 2s, and a 4. All right. So with the 1 and the 2, I made a 3, and I'm gonna I moved the tank up. He got a 5 on his 1d6, and we're gonna fire the cannon again at the machine gun team in the entrenchment. So that's 4 hits. I need a couple shock here. 1 dead.
Good.
Oh, it hits your, that was your senior leader. So let's see what happens to him. So he's just lightly wounded. Drops a command initiative. And they lost a man here. Let's replace the,
No, they didn't lose a man.
oh, that's right. They didn't lose a man.
So you didn't pin me out.
That's a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
All right, then these guys are going to open up. Same deal. 3 long-range rifles. 2 hits, and then the BAR, and then 1 extra guy. So here we go. Firing at the squad there in the orchard. So I had 3 hits, right? And then 4 more. So 7 total on the squad in the orchard. So 4 on the yeah, I had 3 with the long range, or was it 2?
You rolled 3 dice.
Yeah, I got 2 hits then. I'm assuming.
So 6?
6 hits, we'll say.
Got to split them up. Machine gun? Nothing. Just a shock. After all that, man. Okay, I need to get in there with you. It's time to hop the hedge, boys. Okay, and I think that's it. The only other thing I had before was I sprinted my senior leader around the corner here to get up with the rest of the boys. So that's it. So for all those phases I got, what did I get for it?
2, 4,
a couple shock and a dead
7
guy.
shock.
7 shock, that's not bad. I'll take 7 shock on, well, that's 3 teams, but okay. So next is the German die. See what you get here. 2 5s, a 1 and 2 2s. So you're gonna have to combine those 2s to make a 4, I'm assuming. And you got 2 chain of command dice. You're up to 3, or did you already change it? Did you already add the 2 to that?
I already added.
Okay. Chain of command dice are slow to come by in this game. Alright, so he had what? A 1. He's bringing his Panzerschreck. He can't go into the hardcover. He can only hold 1 team.
He's bringing his own. I've got my second.
Oh, that's right. That's okay. There you go. So he's in there with him. He packed his own entrenchment with him.
And I've got.
Okay, hold on. Before you do that, so let's summarize here. So his senior leader was wounded. He had 2 commands. The squad that was in the cabbage patch, they sprinted over to the hedge, facing this direction. And on his other command, he ordered that MG42 team to go on Overwatch. And then here we go with the 1. He's going to come in with his Panzerschreck, and he's going to try to light this Sherman up. So we'll be right back. So the way this works, the Panzerschreck is going to fire at the Sherman. So he rolls 2d6, and to hit the Sherman, he needs a 7 on 2d6 because the Sherman's in the wheat field. It's partially obscured. If he was in the open, he'd only need a 5. If he was heavily obscured, he would need a 9 on 2d6. So go ahead and roll your 2d6. Oh boy, that's an 11. That's a hit. Even with the -1. So you're in the second range band of the weapon. So handheld anti-tank weapons have range bands and a maximum range. He's in the second one at 24. So he easily hits the Sherman. So I think this might be it for the Sherman. Because, what I say, 13?
Yeah.
He gets, so now the way it works is, the more powerful the AT weapon, the more strike dice you get. So that thing's got 13 strike dice. So he rolls all the 13, and on 5s or 6s are hits. Yeah, you're a big build up there, Andre. And he got a hit.
Yay.
But it's not all is not lost, because I get, I think, 6. My armor is 6. So what I do is I roll my 6 armor dice, and all the 5s or 6s cancel Andre's out. Any excess that he has that I don't save go onto the table that we'll look at, should I
So
not.
I might get a 1 if you get really
If I get
unlucky.
Right, the most you can get is 1 net hit. So yeah, nothing happens. It just bounced right off.
Yay.
Bing. I can't believe that. That was the worst roll out of maybe ever that I've seen you make.
In a while.
Okay, so that's it for you.
That pretty well sums up this game, yeah.
Okay. All right, now it's the American phase. American phase. 6 is burned. 3 4s and a 2. Well, that doesn't help me because the Sherman I cannot activate, and he's the one I needed to activate. But I can activate both my senior leaders in one section. I placed a 4 on that senior leader. I placed a 4 on this senior leader, and the 2 just went on them. Didn't really need it because the senior leader could have did everything. But so they're going to fire. The senior leader is going to command that squad to open up on those guys again. So same amount of dice. Actually, 3 of them were long range. Ooh man, all 3 hits. Remember that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hits. Let's see if I can actually. All these low rollings are actually helping you on your saves today, though, Andre.
That's, yeah.
That's one way to look at it.
Except I'm going to be pinned out here shortly.
How many pins you got over there? 2 each?
2 each.
Okay. 2 shock, I mean. Okay, so machine gun team. 3 shock, because you're in the soft cover. So yeah, that's gonna help.
So they're up to 5.
Okay, and then the rest will be on the rifle team. Need some more shocks. 3 more shock and a dead. So roll to see if it's your sergeant.
So they're pinned out.
Are they pinned?
I got 10 shock.
Okay. And how many guys
2,
you got?
4, 6, 8, 9, minus 1.
See if it's your sergeant. No. Okay, so they're pinned. So you take that. So when you're pinned, what happens is you can't move, and you can only shoot at half effect. So you're not totally out of the fight, but you're pinned down, just as the name implies. Okay, so that's that. I still have some shooting to do here. I got a BAR and 2 rifles that can see. BAR is only 3 shots. You know what I've been forgetting this whole time? The Americans can re-roll 1 on their misses. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yep.
Why would you not just take Americans every time?
Because someone's got to be the bad guys. So I got 4 hits on them. So 2 on the machine gun.
That's the same team?
Yep. Yeah, the Americans are pretty badass.
2 each?
Yep. So another shock on the machine gun. And then nothing. So that's that. So, okay, so my other 4, my senior leader here, I'm going to have the squad shoot at the guys lined up along that hedgerow. And he's going to order the bazooka to fire into the building. Only senior leaders can order 8 handheld AT weapons to fire at infantry. 11 shots from the squad into the squad, and they're in the open. But I am long range, so what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on the rifle team there.
Okay.
Yeah, the Americans re-rolling 1s. Man, that could have been a lot more hits. I just remembered that. Holy shit. 2 dead and 2 shock. So roll to see if it's your sergeant.
I'm in the open. That's 4
4
dead.
4 dead. Yeah, that's right. Roll to see if it's your sergeant, though. So on a 4 now, it's the sergeant.
It is.
So let's see what happens to him. He just takes a light wound. So like your senior leader, he is -1 on his command initiatives. So he's down to 1. Ooh, man, that was some shooting. Okay, in the second order, he's going to order the bazooka to fire into the building. Now, bazooka has a HE2. HE is 4, so I got 1 hit, and it reduces your cover by 1. So your light cover, so you got a shock on the machine gun, and that will do it for the American phase. And Andre's roll, he's rolled a double phase, and he rolled a 1, which is good. So he had 2 2s and a 1.
I'm not sure why the 1 is so good, but
Well, you can fire your Panzerschreck.
I got my senior leader right there.
Well, yeah, but
I'd rather have
You can have him
a
do-
4.
a 4 and a 1. Well, you can have your senior leader.
Well,
remove
I'd rather
shock.
have a 4 and 2 2s, but
Yeah, you can't remove any shock with 2s. Only person that can remove shock right now is if you combine those 2s to make a 4. The Panzerschreck will now fire at the Sherman again, needing a 7. So he got it. And actually, since he hit me last time and I hadn't moved, he actually was +1 on that roll. So here we go again. Now, the Sherman can't possibly survive this one.
you say.
No, I'm going to be toast. 5. Okay, so you got 5 hits. I get 6 dice in defense. I need a lot of 5s. Oh. Yeah, 0. So he's dead. He's automatically killed. But, actually, you can roll. So, on a... So what happens is you roll on the table, and it gives you different hits. So, let's see, I'll just pull this I'll just show the chart here real quick. So the way it's broken down is you take the net hits or the extra hits that the fighter gets that aren't saved by the armor. So on tanks and stuff, so he had, well,
5 net hits.
3 plus net hits is automatically 1 to 4 it's knocked out. On a 5 or 6 it explodes.
Okay.
And 1d6 hits on infantry than 4. What'd you get?
5.
Okay. So 1d6 hits. Go ahead and roll for this squad here.
It's the whole squad gets hit, or
Well,
just
it's
the
probably
guys
just
within
this-
4?
The guys within the team. So that rifle team.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a d6. I guess that'll tell us how many hits we get. 6. The thing that's weird about this game, I mean, the way the book's written, is they use like d6 kind of interchangeably. Because they'll say 1d6 meaning roll a dice. Then here it says 1d6 hits. So does that mean you get 1 hit or you get 1d6 hits? We'll just say 6. So
Okay.
I'm
so
assuming
6 hits.
So I guess I roll 6 saves for light cover.
Okay.
6. So we got 2 shock. So he killed the Sherman. I knew that was going to happen. I got very lucky the first time. And not activating it last time really hurt me. So it blows up. Can you hand me a blow up marker? No.
Oh.
That's the knocked out. I'm talking blowed up. Boom. And now we do the. So now my force morale is about to take a hit. So I roll a d6. So there's the chart here that tells you what happens. So when something happens, you look up what happened and then you roll for it. So I had an armored fighting vehicle knocked out. So I roll a d6. I got a 1. So armored vehicle knocked out, -1. So I'm -1 on my morale. So I was at 11. I was at a very high force morale, thanks to the roll at the beginning of the game. So my tank getting blown up only cost me 1, so I'm down to 10. Could have been a lot worse. And Andre still has. That was with a 1. That was your 1 you used, right? Okay, so you still got 2 2s left. All right. Well, knowing that he had the double phase, I guess Andre assumed it was safe to come out. So he was able to get out of the building with the 2 pins even. So he's moving in the open, and he does have another phase, so he has a chance to maybe do something. And then his other 2 was wasted. The only section he has that he can is that one, because this section is no longer this squad is no longer a squad since they're farther than 4 inches. 2 individual teams. Those guys are pinned, and they have so many shock on them that, you know, between the halving for being pinned and then the -1 shot per 2 pins, he can't do anything. So next second of your phases.
Yay.
Not that great. With the 2, this section did a dead sprint. If you do a dead sprint, you take a point of shock at the end of it. So he now has 4 total shock on that squad. And then over here, he combined the 3 1s to make a 3. And he removed 2 shock with the junior leader on that pin squad there. Now American phase. So 5, man, after all this time, I'm barely to 3 chain of command points. And then I got 2 3s, a 2, and a 1. Okay, so what I did, I moved with the 4. I made a 3 and a 1 and a 4. The senior leader had these guys move 2d6. They got a great roll, so they're going to be able to move and fire at half effect, and these guys are right out in the open. He also took 1 point of shock off and ordered the bazooka up. Over here, the 2 I'm going to use to fire that squad along the hedge, and with the 3 I had this squad move up 1d6. I only rolled a 2, I think, and they got just to there, and that MG42 is on ambush or on overwatch, and he's going to fire. And after all said and done with pins and pins, or shock and pin, he gets 2 shots and he gets 2 hits. I'll say him in the open. Oh, 2 dead. Ah. So he just killed 2 Americans. Okay, now I get to shoot. So I got the BAR. I'm going to actually fire on this squad. So the order was advance and fire. So actually he gets full shots. He gets 1 hit. And I'm going to have one guy throw a frag. So the way frags work, the guy that could see is dead now. So I guess I can't throw a frag. Because I had 3 guys that were out of the smoke. One was going to throw a frag, the other 2 were going to shoot, 2 died. So
Well, you can shoot and throw a frag, can't you?
that's true. Yes, you're right. Because throwing a frag is not an action. So I'll just have the BAR gunner throw a frag. So can you measure that off for me, Andre? So the way frags work, there's a 12-inch range. And what you do is you pick your target and you find out how far that is. You roll 2d6, and if they equal or are greater than the distance the target is, it hits. If
So
it's
you're
less, nothing happens.
6 inches.
So I got to get a 6 on 2d6. If I don't. So it doesn't do anything. It was a dud, we'll say. Dud grenade. Okay,
It
so
got caught up in the hedgerow.
yeah, it blew up in the hedgerow. Nothing happened. Okay, so that's it for that. Now I'm going to, this squad is going to fire. So the same thing. I got 3 guys long range. No. BAR rifle. Let's see if I can put some more pins on those guys. Quite a few hits there. 6 hits. And if I can get enough pins on them, I can make them break. So that's 1. 2.
1 each.
So how many do you have now? I know you just removed 2.
So I'd be back up to 9.
Okay. See, removing those 2 did
Or
help
actually,
out.
no. I'm at 11.
11. Well, then you're broken.
No, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 guys.
Oh, so you need 16. I'm sorry. You need 16 to break those dudes. But the beauty of it is, if I was able to kill any of them, obviously that number would start dropping. The pins would stay the same, but the number to break would be less. So, and my last shooting is this squad here. They moved. They can fire at half effect, and this is a full squad, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing a guy. So BAR. 5, 6, 7 rifle. So what do I have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So half effect of that would be 5. Shooting at troops in the open. And 3 hits. 4 hits. I'm sorry. 4 hits and you're in the open.
So the machine gun team.
So dead. So you got 2 shock on the rifles and 1 dead machine gun. Possibly the squad leader. No, it's not. Okay, so that will do it for the American phase. German phase.
Hey.
2 5s, 3 5s.
3 5s.
Okay, you got a chain of command dice now. So maybe we'll see what he can do with that.
And 1 more.
And then, but the bummer of that is you only get 2 2 dice to do anything with. Well, he tried to with the 2. These guys tried to move, but they
I
have.
forgot I had 6
Yeah,
pins.
6 shock. Yeah, forget moving because it's -1 per shock. And then over here, he got his senior leader with the 4. He moved them. Was able to get in between both teams to make them a section again because he made them within 4. And then he ordered them over the hedge. And now we're going to do a close assault. So we'll just take this off for now. So assault, as soon as you get within 4 inches of an enemy, you're considered in close range assault if you have a clear path to them. There was some smoke on there. It's kind of questionable whether they were in or not, but we're just going to do it anyway. So go ahead and get some dice up and then we'll go over the assault. So real quick here, in the assault, what you do is you get in this chart and it'll tell you how many dice you have. So you can wind up having tons, 20 plus dice sometimes in the assault. So it's you know, per one guy you get one, and then if you got leaders, you get one per command initiative for them. If the enemy comes at you, you get more. Minus, you get minus on shock, and then SMGs give you some more, and LMGs. I don't have any LMGs if you're in cover. And then if you're pinned, you take half of those, and if you're hit from behind, you take half of those.
This is closer than I thought it would be.
So when all's said and done, I had 13 dice, and I'll just real quickly, I had 8 guys, and then I have a leader with 2 command initiative, and he has an SMG. So those are 4 plus 8. So I got 13, and Andre had 9 because he has 5 guys, or 6 guys? You have 6 guys.
6 guys.
Yeah, plus.
Yeah, but the leader doesn't count as one.
Yeah, it does.
The leader,
His command initiatives count, but he's a
Yeah.
man. He is a man too.
I think it says not counting.
Oh yeah, you're right. So then I'm -1 then, because I counted my leader. Okay.
Cheating.
So now we roll, and every 5 or 6 is a kill. There's no. Yeah, it's just straight death in this. So a 5 or 6 is a kill. A 6 is a kill plus a shock. So go ahead, Andre. So 3 of mine are dead, and I got 3 shock. Okay, so I'll roll on that. Ooh man, I only got 1.
Ooh.
I only killed 1 guy. Okay, so what did I get, a 5? So you
Yeah.
lost 1 guy. I lost 3 men, and I take 3 shock. And I also need to check and see if my leader. So on a 3 or less, it's not. So check your leader out. It's not. Okay, so we'll have to check this out. All right, so when all's said and done, just like the vehicle thing, there's a chart that tells you what happens when you lose. So I lost by 2 in close combat, so it tells me I fall back 9 inches, and I take 1 shock per team. And terrain doesn't count. You can go over any terrain when you have to do these fallback things. So you face away from the enemy. So I ran back 9, and they now have 5 shock, 5 dudes. So 1 more and they'll be pinned. And he only lost 1 guy. So suddenly, yeah. Still not looking great for Andre, but at least that was a small victory. Yeah, so I lost the assault there. That smoke is still technically there. But we just wanted to show an assault because I don't know. I'm sure we'll get another one, but that's it. So are you done?
Sure looks like it.
Okay, now the American phase. We get here. 2 5s. Still, even with the 2 5s there, I still don't have a command. All I got's a 1 and a 4. That's what sucks about getting those chain of command points sometimes. Alright, with the 1, I'm going to fire the rifle team out of this squad. I can assign them to 1. And over here with the 4, I've just moved my senior leader down the hedge a bit so I can get within 9 of them. And I removed 1 shock. So him moving was 1. Him removing a shock's 1. And then he's going to order this squad to fire on those guys. So we'll start over here. I got 7 rifles on these dudes in the open, and I got only 3 hits. They are in the open, so I'm gonna get some more shock on them. Oh yeah, so 2 dead in a shock. Taking your machine gun out?
Got 2 dudes left.
Oh, so okay, both went on them. Okay, and he takes the shock with him. So actually, that probably kept you from getting pinned.
Yeah.
Actually. And then over here, full on squad. So I got the BAR, blah blah blah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you still filming?
6, 7, 8.
So I'm gonna spring my interrupt.
Okay. So he's going to use his chain of command dice, and he can do an interrupt.
So these guys are going to move 2d6.
All right. So they can move 7. So one of the things the chain of command dice does is he can interrupt. So when I'm about to do something, he could do something. Oh, you're going to try to assault me?
No,
Okay.
no try about it.
Alright, he's gonna do his assault then. Alright then. Suicide charge. Alright, so he's gonna go ahead and roll his 8 dice, and I got quite a bit more than that. So go ahead. And 5s and 6s, so what's
3, 4.
that? 4 dead. And I got
You wiped me, I think. Yeah. You got me.
yeah, you're wiped. But I did take 3 dead and 4 dead and a shock. So I wiped him off the board. And I will just, and I got to see if it's my leader. It's not. Okay. So I lost 3 men. I'll take 1 from the BAR and 2 from the rifle team. And I take 1 point of shock. So it was a suicidal thing, but at least it pulled me off the hedge. And you lost a team, so you got to roll now on
Well,
the.
we also forgot to roll for these guys when they broke. They didn't actually break though, did they?
No, they didn't break. They fell back.
Oh, so I don't get nothing for that?
No. So a team got wiped out, or a whole section got wiped out of yours, right?
Yes, that was the whole section.
So roll a d6 on a 4 plus. It's -2. So what'd you get?
1.
So -1 on your morale. So you're just down to 8. And I think that, yeah, so I guess I can't do anything now, huh? So he's managed to delay me a little bit here. I'm going to have to reposition to get back up to the hedge and start shooting again, but that's fine. And, so what happened then? Can I do something else? I never did anything. Well, actually I did. I moved up, I took the shock off, and I was going to fire, and then we got sidetracked.
Well, you gave your orders, but then you got interrupted, so then you would continue with your order, but I don't know that you can change your order.
I don't either. I'll just say I can't. I'll find out though. Okay, so now it's your phase. Couple more 5s. Not too bad. A 1, 3, and a 4.
That's actually does everybody.
With the 4 and the 3, you just removed 4 points of shock, and he can only do 4 because his senior leader is lightly wounded.
With the 1, can I activate this section?
Yeah, it's a team. Yes.
Team, so they'll run
They got
They
4
can't
pins.
run.
Well, they can. They just.
into cover.
No, you can run through there. I mean, we didn't really say.
Well, you can't run into cover, but I'm at -4, so I'm thinking I won't get there anyhow.
You might not. Let's roll 6s. Oh shit! There it is. 6s.
Wow. -4. So that's
14.
14 inches, huh?
Yeah, you moved 14 inches with 4 pins, or 4 shock, which is pretty damn good. Well, with the incredible roll for it again, and busted. And now he's assaulting this squad. So technically, he couldn't change his destination because he saw what he rolled. Because originally he was going that way. So he should still have to go, but we're just going to let him come over here because we want to try the assault again. So, what the hell. Alright, so I got... Andre has 7 dice because he has... It's -1 dice per 2 shock. So he's got 5, so he lost 2. So he's down to 7. I got 21 with when it's all said and done. So 3 to 1. So go ahead. Don't roll all 6s.
Woohoo!
So 2 dead and a shock.
When you roll that many,
I got big hands. I can't get them all.
and I'm gone.
Yeah, so yeah, you're toast. You only got 6 dudes left.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. And I lose 2 guys and take a shock. I gotta see if it's my leader. I'm gonna be pissed if you kill my senior leader or something here. Just randomly. No. Okay. So 2 suicidal charges by the Germans, but really what else choice do they have? Because they're kind of in bad shape here.
Kind of.
So now it's my phase, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
American phase. Ooh, double phase. And 1, 2, and 4. And actually, you lost a team, so you need to roll your leadership. 1, 2, and 4. So the game is actually officially now over. Andre has withdrew from the field voluntarily, and one way to win is to have your opponent either be forced off through morale or voluntarily just quit the field. So looking at the board right now, after the assaults, he lost 2 squads. So really,
I've got 1 pinned squad left
pin squad,
with 7 shock.
yeah, and that's it. And then I got 2 pretty good sized squads, plus I still got that squad, plus I still got the bazooka.
So basically, there's no way I could stop you from just running off the board. You wouldn't even have to engage me anymore.
Right, I could just run off. Plus I just got the double phase too. So I
Yeah.
could just throw smoke grenades and run off.
You wouldn't even have to do that because I couldn't even get covering fire over to
That's
even
true.
try and shoot at you as you ran by.
Yeah.
You could just run through the open.
So anyway, that's the game. I never did get off the edge, but like we said, it didn't matter.
Well,
He won.
you would
I would.
in another 2 or 3 phases.
But obviously, if you leave the field, I can just leave the edge anyway. So anyway, that's the game. We really like this game. Like Andre said earlier, we're starting to get the hang of attacking a little bit more. Attacking in this game is very hard.
It used to be the defender won every game, but now it's.
I think this is only the second time that the attacker has won.
Yeah.
Every other game we play, the defender always wins because it's just hard. It's hard to attack. It's hard to move guys effectively, but it does help having the Americans who can move and shoot on a 2d6 move. But yeah, it's a great game. It takes a few games to get kind of really comfortable with the rules, but once you get the rules down comfortably and it flows, it goes pretty quick. Without all the filming, we could have been done a long time ago, but yeah, it's a good game, I think. What do you think, Andre?
Oh yeah, it's a little more fun when you get better rolls, but
Yeah, you were having some bad rolls there.
I got backed into a corner and couldn't do a whole lot, which doesn't make it as fun, but it was, at least I redeemed myself with that 1 assault.
Yeah, you did win one, although you didn't kill me off, but
No.
But anyway, so that's it. That's Chain of Command Game 1. We're actually going to start doing a campaign soon. The 29th, let's go. It's 29th Infantry Division moving out of Normandy. So that'll be the next thing we do. We'll start the mini campaign. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be putting out some more of these for this game as well as bolt action as well. So thanks for watching.